Senator Aubrey McCarthy.
Thank you, Margaret, and thank you for being here today. I'm feeling old listening to AI and how it's moving so fast, but I certainly welcome the legislation, and it is important. And even the AI office being set up with its own CEO. So, as an SME owner, we've had several SMEs in here giving witness to their own business challenges, etc. And they're being faced with various costs and new issues being faced, even regarding data protection, which we've only sort of got used to. So I see that the Data Act is described, Ciara, as democratising access to data. But many SMEs who have been in here giving witness, they still lack the technical capacity to actually to use the data once it's accessed. So I'm just wondering what supports are in place to ensure that it just doesn't simply shift power from one large player to another, rather than empowering small SMEs.
Thank you very much, Senator, for the question. I do think there is a genuine opportunity for SMEs here, and where I think of it is, say, for example, like at the moment, if you have your car, you have to bring it to the dealership if you want the official them to access the official data when you're getting your service. Under the Data Act, your local mechanic will actually be able to access all of that data. So there is, and they will be able to provide the same service, an opportunity for SMEs, and potentially a consumer-friendly service as well, because you might be able to get it at a better rate. So I think there is a genuine opportunity, so it really does democratise access to data. There is a piece, I think, as you rightly point out, and the challenge is around an awareness, a communications piece and an awareness piece, and to make sure that small businesses actually have the supports that they need to be able to turn something from an opportunity into a reality. The Data Act regulation provides for this in respect of a requirement for the data coordinator for CCPC to lead in relation to data literacy. So they will be able to make materials available to businesses who want to engage with data more, as foreseen through the Data Act. And then to support that, I think as well, there is a programme for government commitment to develop a new national digital strategy, and that will actually be a national digital and AI strategy, and that's imminent. That will be published very, very shortly, and that is going to contain the sorts of provisions and supports to make it a reality for SMEs, to make sure that they can. There is already supports there from the LEOs and from Enterprise Ireland, but the ambition, I think, of the National Digital Strategy will be to take that to a new level. And
Ciara, will there be any key supports available from day one, like whether that's funding, technical assistance, specifically for SMEs?
There are already supports available through the LEOs. There's vouchers there already through the LEOs. So I'm not sure. I don't want to maybe state what the National Digital Strategy will say.
Okay. Can I just carry on just from Deputy Conway Walsh, what she was saying, that Ireland is going to be the lead regulator for many multinational firms. I'm just wondering, does ComReg, does the CCPC have the expertise? Does it have the staffing? Does it have the enforcement appetite to take this on? Or is there any gap there?
Do we have the expertise? So I think our regulators, so the country of origin principle is really what this is about, and this says where a company is headquartered is where it's regulated effectively. Lots of digital regulations already have this concept in place, so the Data Act isn't unusual in that regard. In respect of ComReg, they will be regulating the data processing service providers, which is where we will see most of those very, very large companies. I believe they internally developed a report to look at the type of skills they need, to look at the quantum of resources they need. So they have the ambition, they're aware of it, the challenge that faces them or the size of the task. And they've developed a plan, and it is with, I gather, their parent department to consider how best to resource it. But I would say from my interactions with them, there's definitely the appetite there to regulate very effectively.
Okay. Declan, you mentioned banning those with an unacceptable risk or high-risk AI systems. Can I just, what sort of examples would you have of those?
Certainly, yeah. Pull them up here so I don't get it wrong. So, yeah, thank you. So they're, I suppose, focused on kind of Orwellian type practices. So, you know, subliminal or manipulative AI techniques that could be used, untargeted scraping of facial images in public spaces, predictive policy based solely on profiling of traits of persons, emotion recognition in workplace that could be used to confer something or automate a decision, and biometric categorization based on using sort of sensitive traits.
Okay. And is that comparable to our European counterparts? Are they all doing similar? Are they unacceptable in those jurisdictions?
Yes, so the prohibited practices are called out by the European regulation, and so they take direct effect, and there's no I suppose, requirement for national law to implement them or transpose that has direct effect. We haven't added to them and amended them, and I think that's the general practice across Europe to ensure that there is a harmonised approach to it across the EU.
And then is it the AI offices, the CEO, is it their decision to judge these unacceptable or high risk? I know the law will, but who oversees that?
So that there will be a number of competent authorities who are designated across those particular areas, depending on the nature of the space that the competent authority is currently operating in. So our regulation, government decided I suppose, a distributed model and to leverage the existing sectoral regulators that are in place already to leverage their capabilities and experience. So depending on the I suppose, sector that the prohibited practices is taking place in, it would be a matter for that particular competent authority to investigate and reach a decision on it.
So the AI office, when I finish up here, you're confident that that will have the sufficient technical expertise and funding and staffing from day one?
Yes, albeit in a startup phase, and it will no doubt will grow and evolve over time as it becomes clearer the level of regulation activity and the needs. But yes, absolutely, and they will be establishing, I suppose, access to technical support to help the regulators themselves access technical expertise in their job.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Gavin.